Today we're making a coil container. Here's how to begin. I'm going to give you a big old chunk of clay like this. And you're going to have to take this and turn it into the start of a coil container. This is just with a couple of rows. So we first need to start with a slab, S-L-A-B, of clay. And then on top of the slab, we're going to be putting our coil. So this is a coil of clay. So to start with a slab, you don't take this whole thing because this is for your slab and your coils coming upwards. So you're going to take a chunk of it off like this, put the rest to the side. Put this one on your canvas board. You're going to kind of squish it sort of like a pancake to start, just to help get it started. Push it down with your hand a little bit, and then you can take a rolling pin. And the rolling pin, just push on the top like this. Turn your clay. Don't go totally crazy with it. You don't need to get nuts with it. It's just nice and gently, okay? So now I have a slab. Do you see how thick it is? It's not super duper thin and skinny. It's almost like the thickness of my finger, okay? That's about how thick we want it. So I'm gonna set this down, and I'm gonna find something very nice and round to trace. I'm going to use the top of my slip cup. So I'm gonna just push it down like this, and then when I pull it back up, look at that's a perfect circle. So I can take my needle tool. This is a needle tool. It's very sharp on the end, be careful. And I can just cut very carefully, very slowly on that line. I went off the line, get back on the road. Okay, so then I can take all this extra clay off that I don't, come on. What's the matter with these hands? So I could take this part off that I don't need, put it to the side. And now I'm left with a slab. So this is what's called a slab of clay. Okay. Next, I can set my slab to the side, and I'm going to make my coil that looks like this. So to make a coil, again, you start with your big chunk of clay. Don't make this whole thing into a coil. Pinch some of it off, and sometimes that's the best part, is just grabbing and ripping it apart. Okay. To start, slowly put it into like a hot dog shape. If you squeeze way too hard, oh, what happened? Oh, I don't know. I'll throw it to the side. If you don't push hard enough, it doesn't move. So you're finding just the right amount of pressure to make it kind of into a hot dog shape. Looks like a hot dog, right? Or a brat maybe? Set it down onto your canvas board, and you're gonna take your fingertips and roll really slow with your fingers spread out and go nice and gentle. And do you see I'm going left to right? I'm kind of just going back and forth. And just go really slow. I think when kids watch demonstration videos on how to make a coil, or even adults, they show the adults really just kind of going quickly because adults go fast and they don't slow down. They gotta just slow down. Well, slow down, adults. Just chill out. See, there's a fat part here, so I just kind of squish it down a little bit. Here, there we go. Now this looks like a perfect coil. If I look at my finger and the coil, they're almost the exact same size. So you don't want it skinnier than that because it will fall apart, and you don't want it fatter than that because it'll blow up. So bring this slab back to here. You have your coil laid out, and you're gonna grab what's called slip. Slip. Slip is just watery clay. It's really fun to work with. So to get this to stick on top of here, you could squish it down. You could. Like this piece would squish together like this for today. If I really squish these together, yes, they will stay. But to get this coil to stay on top of this slab, we have to use slip. Otherwise, it will fall apart in the kiln. The kiln is an oven that heats up your clay. So once it goes into the big oven, sometimes it just falls apart and we go, what happened? I do not know. I do not think we scored and slept very good. Score. I took my time to score. Score this dude. You're just making like little tiny channels or cuts into your clay, and these are the areas in which your slip is gonna just kind of hang out in. So slip is like glue. So slip is clay glue. Hold your clay together. It's really gross, I love it. Made it in my blender today. So this flips upside down, and then I'm gonna bring my coil over to here. Too much. Choppy, choppy. There we go. Choppy, choppy. Squish together. Okay. Now I kind of push push and kind of settle it in there like you're making a s'mores sandwich, like with the marshmallow and the graham cracker and the chocolate, kind of just pushing it down. Do you see how it's kind of bubbling up this slip in there? It's filling those cracks in, okay? Don't pinch this skinny, because then when you put the next one on top of it, there's no place for it to go. So it should be this fat. It should look like an onion ring. Does this look like or a funyun? Ooh, onions and funyuns. So it should look like an onion ring on the top. So then keep repeating that process. I'll set this to the side. I'm gonna grab another chunk of clay, squeeze it into like a hot dog. Okay, lay it down on your canvas board. Spread it going back and forth like this. Now this end is fatter, this end is skinnier, so just take your time with your fingertips. Yeah, there we go. We got a nice little coil happening here. So now when I look back at my drawing that I did, I can do things like hearts or rainbows or circles or stripes or spirals. So I'm gonna show you a couple of those as I go, and then I'll show you how to get them on there. So if you're gonna do something like a heart, we can just cut pieces that are all about the same size. Making some clay, yeah, making some clay. So we can fold it and roll these edges in. And now it's gonna look like a heart if I pinch it, okay? So again, we're gonna fold it, roll these in. I should have made them a little bit longer, but we get the idea, right? Oh, that one looks terrible. Toss it in the garbage. Here, let's make them a little bit longer for you. So this rolls in. See, I'm rolling it in. Oh yeah, there's a heart, there's a heart. Pinch the bottom, boink. Oh, it's so pretty, I like it. So I might do a bunch of hearts on there, okay? Rainbows, if I wanna do a rainbow on mine, I can take my coil and I can score all the top of this. And I could start by doing like this. And then cut. And then cut like this. So then when I put these up here like so, it's going to look like a rainbow-ish. And it's important to keep them all the right size so that the next layer has a chance of looking cool. So I'll score this, slip, stick, score, slip, stick. Oh yeah, liking it, yeah. Beautiful. So maybe my hearts could go next. Yes, yes. So I'll put my hearts in the next row right here. I like that, that's cool. And then I think I'll do a stripe. That looks good. So as I'm gonna keep continuing upwards and I'm gonna keep continuing to make my hearts, my rainbows, I'm gonna do a couple more stripes in between, you know, just a couple of like smooth flat ones like this. To do circles and stripes and spirals, I'll show you that and then I'll let you guys get to work, okay? So to do circles, you just take your chunk of clay and you just roll it in your hand really slowly like this. And now you have a circle and I could put the circle on. Or I could roll a circle and then squeeze it. And now I have like a tire or a wheel I could stick on there. To do the stripes, I already started with the stripes like this. Make them all the same height. Get out of the way, wheel. Okay, and then take the whole shebang and then stack this up. So then it's gonna look like stripes, okay? The next, last one would be spirals. Okay, so to do a spiral, just wrap, oh, I don't like that part. Yeah. Wrap it like this. Now I have a spiral. Take my next little guy and do a spiral. Snap it off. So I've got some spirals to put on. Maybe I'll go all this direction. Oh, it looks like a little mouse. Oh my gosh, that's creepy. There's like an eye, an ear, his little mouse, and his leg and his tail sticking out. Oh, funny. Give him a smile. All right, so here's what I would do. We're looking at our coil container. Here is my coil container. What I would do is I would do one whole row of rainbows. Then I would do one whole plain row like this, just regular coil. Then do another whole row of like, let's say circles, and then another plain row like this, and then another whole row of like spirals, and then a plain row like this, until the whole thing is built up about like this. And we're gonna go about this tall, about this size. See how it's gonna work? Okay? Then when we get completely done, we're gonna start to do things like smoothing and adding texture to different parts of it, okay? So happy building and have fun with this. Bye.